Hi guys, I'm from Quebec. It's in Canada. It's the French part of Canada, so you might hear that in my accent. Um, I I've moved away from Canada. I lived a few years in Scotland, and now I'm living in New Zealand. Um, as you can see, it's very nice here. It's summertime. Um, so I work from home when I do my art. Um, I do not have a studio because I don't really need it. I work on my computer most of the time and on my iPad. So you don't really need a studio. I can work in a cafe. I worked on the table in my house, on the sofa. I can work from anywhere. So when I was a kid, I used to draw all the time. That's what I would do, at school, at home. I really liked it. After high school, I went to a school named Cégep in Canada, which is just after high school and before university, and I learned fine art, where I learned how to paint and do some sculptures, and there was a bit of digital art as well. And after that, I went to university and just learned graphic design and got a bachelor degree in graphic design. So yeah, I've always been creative. That's just me. I just like drawing and everything. About 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to pursue a career as an artist, which was like one of my big dreams in life, to just make money through my art. So I started really creating a lot of art and posting it on social media, and it was very fun. And at some point, I did some artwork that were quite repetitive, like with a few elements that would repeat, and it really looked like a pattern. It wasn't a pattern though, but I posted it online, and a lot of people really liked it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I should learn how to do a pattern. So after that, I just did a bit of research and figured out how to make patterns, with the repeat, which would be the tail of the pattern, which would kind of repeat itself and continue. So a flowing repeat pattern. So yeah, that's how I got about it. I do illustration, and I do pattern design, but I don't think I would kind of box myself into one category. So I don't know, at the moment I'm quite into pattern design, but maybe later on I'll do more illustration. I would love to do plenty of different things, like, I don't know, have a fabric collection, or I don't know, create a kid's book. I worked in plenty of different creative fields. I have a job also as a graphic designer part-time, which is good. It's good to just keep working and do different things. Yeah, so as I said, I went to university in graphic design, which is where I learned how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, but we didn't do a lot of illustration back then. It was more typography and a lot of vector shape. So I had to learn how to do illustration on my own, which took a bit of time, but I could figure it out just by doing some research and practicing. I was able to get better at illustration online. There's a good website named Skillshare, where I learned how to use Procreate to draw on the iPad, which was very useful. A good trick I find is to maybe just start by getting an Instagram page, and even if you're not ready, even if you don't have anything to show, okay, just get an Instagram page or a Facebook page or a blog that you will tell yourself, oh, I'll put some design over there, maybe, I don't know, start by once a week, okay, and then you can see from there. It's just good to have something that you can be, how would you say, that forces you to create. So if you've got a page and you tell yourself you're gonna do it every week, then it's kind of something that pushes you to really do it every week, even though you might not want to. Because if you just create until you've got enough work that you like to start showing it, it's a bit harder, I find, because it's, I don't know, you're always too critical on yourself. So it's good to show your work, because you get, like, I started with just a few posts on my Instagram, and people were very supportive, and like they were like, oh, I like it, and I wasn't too pleased about it, but it's good to see the response at the start, which pushes you to do more. With social media, you can see as well what works best, and you do more of that, or you just try some different things. So when you've got quite a big variety of work, then you can select the one you like best to create your portfolio. So yeah, it's just creating some more stuff, and you'll get it. You'll just figure it out. I've got a pattern that I did which has a kingfisher on it. There's a lot of leaves flowing with some flowers. It's very exotic. I really like it. I don't know. I think if I would be a pattern, it would be this one, a kind of jungle pattern. Yeah, it comes from nature. It's just everywhere. You know, you see like behind me, just the leaves, the shapes. I often go to the beach and I take picture of the flowers. I go to the mountain, and just in my garden there's so many beautiful things around. Yeah, you know, birds, they are beautiful over here in New Zealand. It's just, there's so much inspiration everywhere. I would say, first of all, you need to get your portfolio started. That's the first step, really. I would say you will need to find companies that you want to work with. That's the first step. So you do maybe first of all, you can look at the brands that you have in your life. For example, clothing or objects that use graphics on them, and that would be good to get in touch with. After that, there's trade shows that are very good to find new brands that you didn't know about. You can go into stores, and then you'll find some products that you've never seen, brands that you didn't know about. So you just collect all that information, and after that you can do a research online and figure out, for this brand, it is this art director that deals with bringing design into the house. So after that, the trick would be to try to find their email address. You can phone them as well. I'm not very good at phoning people, so I kind of just stick to email. There's always a way to find an email. You know, companies' emails are always pretty straightforward. Name, family name @company.com. So it's a bit tricky to find sometimes, but you can figure it out. So when you've got enough work in your portfolio, start contacting people, and you'll see the response anyway. It doesn't matter if even if people don't reply to you, which is most of the time people won't reply to you, you might get lucky. As I've said before, because you don't really put your website up to date all the time, but your Instagram page or Facebook page will have your newest work. So it's good to send them a link to your website and a link to your Instagram page, so they can see different things, and they see more of you also on your social media than just your website. I like following artists that I like, and designers and all sorts of stuff, which I imagine if they follow the trend and I look at their work, I kind of follow the trend at the same time, but I don't really try to follow the trend. I just do my own thing. I do what I like. I like to work in different styles. A lot of my work is in a style I call folk art, which is like a lot of leaf and flower, a really intricate pattern. But I also like to do abstract floral and some kind of more vector shape, really defined. There's always a lot of colors. So how does it evolve? It just evolves through practice, through doing it, and I'll see something that I like, I'll include it into my work. It's just going with the flow. I just did a project for Milton & King, which is a wallpaper company. They do fabric as well, but I did wallpaper with them, and I'm very proud of this because I worked quite a lot on those design. So it's 5 different design. There's a Japanese crane pattern, there's a kingfisher pattern, a hummingbird pattern, a fantail pattern, So I sell my work on Etsy, an Etsy shop. I also have a little shop on Felt, which is another kind of shop like Etsy. I do not have a physical shop because I just like to keep it simple. I print on demand, my own website where I show all my work, and you can license some of my artwork as well over there, just to get in touch. My first advice is to know what you want to do and decide that you're doing it. And then it's much easier to put the energy to be constant, because the second step is to be constant and to just create work every week, almost every day really. So be very constant. And yeah, just find what you like, because if you want to be constant in something and you want to work like most of the time on that thing, you need to really like it. So yeah, just find what you like. I like doing patterns, I like doing illustration, but maybe for you it's photography or something else, I don't know, cooking. So find your passion. I would like to do some illustration for a kid's book, by example. I would like to do some illustration for maybe editorial, advertising. What else? I would like to have a fabric collection. I would like to maybe have an exposition of my work. I don't know. Yeah, anything. It will need to be creative. That's where I'll be in 5 years, just making more art and seeing my art evolve through time, I hope. So thank you for watching that little interview with me. If you want to follow me, my Instagram is @folklore and flora. Thank you so much. See ya.